Mm. Well, that was a good season. Y'all enjoyed it. That was a quick season too, right? Yeah, crazy shit. King Reezy, what up, man? He said, "Good day, people. Go ahead and bring the light to the dark time." Ain't no light to bring this time, King Reezy. I don't even know what to bring. Don't forget to hit that like button and support Cash App people. Yeah, that's right. He said, Jay Bryant said, King Reezy. He said, "What's up? It's sad that the high point each week is a cool not the game." That is sad. If you're looking forward to this show and not the game, that's a bad jump. That's a bad jump. Draft session, our draft season. Yeah, we ass. Hit that like button. It's time. Yeah, if you can't beat the Arizona Cardinals, I can't really say nothing for you in a positive light. Um, Fuck them all. That's all I can say, man. Um, Even a bad team, can figure out how to beat this bad team, which is the Arizona Cardinals. It's a bad team that figured out how to beat the Cowboys, who I really do still think that I gotta fix that. I kind of cut my jaw crooked. I look like I'm like leaning. Um, but yeah, I do think the Cowboys are a good team if they could be average at defense. And it's crazy that it just keeps hurting us. This game, I will say, in the defense of the defense, they played better. They played average, right? They didn't get destroyed, but they played average, right? The offense is what struggled, and when the offense is struggling, obviously, this defense ain't gonna save you. So, I didn't really blame the defense so much this game. I thought the offense, if they came out and did what they were supposed to do, you would have put Jacoby Brissett in a bad position to have to drop back and pass a lot and not play action pass, but actual pass. And it would have made it so that we could have ate even more because we were getting to them. So we sacked them a few times. I think at least four, but we was getting to them. So those things are working. It's just certain things that Eberflus does with this scheme. Like at times, I just don't get what the hell he's doing. Like he'll get to the goal line, right? He'll run zone when is nothing but space and opportunity, and they'll find windows within that zone because everybody's spreading out so far that eventually you're gonna find windows if you're not getting there, right? But then we'll get to the red zone, and he'll run man. I think he's doing it just to say he ran man in the game, but he'll run man in the red zone, and these guys will get cooked on a slant. But I'm like, look at all the field that he got to cover, even on that play where Bland got cut out of his socks. I'm like, it's just Bland and Harrison. There's nothing else out there other than those two. What are you running? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that he does is, he doesn't put the players in position to play well or to look good. He puts you in position to, I guess, shine if you are a one-on-one superstar type guy, but it's like sink or swim. It's not, there's no help. There is no integral um part of the scheme that is built in to back up anybody properly. You know what I mean? The intensity was there this game. I think people were trying harder in this game, but man, it's a bad jump, man. I really didn't think the season would end this soon, but for me, it's over. I'm done with these motherfuckers, man. It's kind of hard to justify it at this point because I keep coming back like, all right, well, look, let's just carry. You forgot to carry the two. I'll be thinking somebody did some funny math, like, yeah, you gotta just, move this over here, carry the I, you know what I'm saying? You forgot, please excuse my dear ex and Sally, all that good shit, man. Math ain't mathing, man. So I don't know. Um, this is fun though, coming and talking to y'all. But Matt Eberflus should be fired. The fact that he's still here is crazy. He's just experimenting, and to be quite honest, you could bring in a inexperienced defensive coordinator and get this. So to have a veteran who's been around the block a time or two and a head coach doing this is crazy. You know what I mean? And it shows his stubbornness. They still shopping Mozzie as if the problem was we don't have interior linemen. When I just watched them run on the edges again, run to the outside. No one's running up the middle of the field against this team. Yet we keep talking about let's trade for defensive tackles and we need guys up front who can stop the run. That shows me that you don't even know what your problem is if you think that that's the problem. That means you don't know enough about. That's like having a bullet hole in your stomach, but complaining about a stomach ache and drinking Pepto Bismol. Like, you're not equipped to solve the problem if that's what you think is gonna help you. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same. That's where we at right now. They keep talking as if bringing in a player is going to change his scheme or change the way he does things. And yes, a marquee pass rusher would help, but he won't help very much if you're not in position to pass rush or rush the passer. We prove in games where we actually get an opportunity that we can get to the passer. It's that's not the problem. The problem is being able to recover long enough to do so and being able to get up far enough to put them in obvious pass situations. That's the problem. It's not can these guys stop the run at all. It's not can these guys rush the passer. It's can you put them in situations where teams aren't able to run all day? Meaning, can your defense stop these guys early? No team can just stop the run all day flat. Everyone gets tired. But the teams that do it well, they stop you enough early, right? In their first, those scripted plays, they stop you enough early so that the offense can start to pace you. When the offense starts to outpace you, you try to keep up the pace with that opposing offense, and you abandon the run over time, and then you become predictable. Once you become predictable and you're down 10 to 14 points, your defense can then pin its ears back and start to rush the passer in a lot more creative ways. And you can get more predictable in regards to the type of coverages to run because you know what they need to do in order to get back in the game. You can't do that if you can't stop anybody early because that's the problem. They're up on you, so they get to play a balanced game on you all day. So this game, really, the defense got kind of in trouble because the offense struggled early in the game. I thought that Arizona had a good, well, I won't even say they had a good strategy offensively. I don't get into the conspiracy theories, not because I don't believe any of them, but because it just takes the fun out of watching the game for me, right? I watch certain games, I'm like, what the fuck is that? A lot of games are doing that, right? And in this game in particular, it looked, and don't, I'm not, I said no excuses, but if there is an excuse, here's one for you, right? If you want some silver lining. Did it look to any of y'all like the Cowboys did not want to win this game? It looked like that to me. And I'll tell you why. What has Arizona done that would make you say you need to make sure you get touchdowns and not field goals if you're shoddy? What has Arizona showed you that says we can't settle for a field goal here because you know Peyton Manning's going to get that ball back and he's going to drive it right down your throat? Pause. But we kept going for it on fourth down early instead of taking the field goals. I'm like, we could have took those field goals. We wouldn't have lost the game. We lost by what, 10? We wouldn't have lost the game if you just kicked the field goals. Like, why didn't you kick the field goals? I don't know. I don't know why you didn't kick those field goals. And then the fumbles. Every time we got into their red zone with momentum, we fumbled twice. So 4 times we turned the ball over in their territory with no points. That's 4 times. All right. You just kicked field goals those 4 times. That's 12 points we're up to. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was designed for us to come back late, and then that last fumble kind of took the game away from us, or it was designed to keep it close. I don't know, but it's like we did not lose the game because we were out. They just whooped our ass or something. Offensively, we moved the ball and got nothing out of it 4 times. 4 times. The fumble with Ferguson. Why are we pressing? You know what I mean? Why would he was running like it's the end of the game and you need it. You know what I mean? Why are we pressing? Just all right, you got your yards, go down. Now I understood J Dub at the end of the game pressing because we were down, but still protect the fucking football, especially after you've already had a fumble earlier in the game. George Pickens did it too. I think he got away with it because I think he fumbled, but he got away with it because he was either down or something like that. But he also tried to hand the ball to one of the players at the end of the game. And I'm like, yeah, and then got us a penalty. It's like every time we started moving the ball, the offense did something boneheaded, like almost intentional. You know what I'm saying? Dak was getting like blown up. They had him just getting sacked back there. Like, we just forgot how to play football. So this one wasn't really solely on the defense. This one was on the offense. It's just that, and we already know we don't have a good defense. You know what I'm saying? But this one was more so on the offense because had the offense scored points enough to keep the game respectable, then the Arizona Cardinals do something different with the football each time they have it, and then the game changes, right? But, when you can play comfortably because our coaches are playing like they're playing, they played like we were playing against the Eagles, and they are super this the first game of the season, and they're Super Bowl winners or something, and we just gotta go out and prove that we could play with these guys. That's how they were playing. Like, everybody was just extra anxious, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I don't know. But offensively, it was a very strange game. Defensively, it was about what I expected. They didn't they don't have a great secondary. They did okay, but yeah, I don't get what was going on there, man. But either way, what we 3-5-1. I don't think I don't think this team is really going to do much this season. And it's sad because Dak is actually balling, but they ain't doing that, man. Terrence Steele, you right, amazing creations. Terrence Steele, they was taking turns on Terrence Steele like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, man. It was wild. They was getting him, man. Everybody over. Xavier Collins tossed Guyton like he was a little boy. It was a lot going on, man. I was like, damn, y'all, they just sweat is just taking turns whooping y'all ass on the outside. Those tackles, both tackles, right and left tackle, can't block worth a damn. When I guess when attacked the way Arizona attacked, I don't know what the hell they were doing. I got to look at the film. But, yeah, it was a tough game to watch, man. It took all the steam out of me. I ain't gonna lie. I don't give a damn about what's going on with the Cowboys right now. I'm like, all right, somebody pass me something. I don't know. I need something to do. I'm about to get into boxing. This is getting on my nerves. Cause I don't know, to come here every day, argue with fans about the inevitability of the fact that this team is ill prepared and ill run. It's been the same song for a long time. Now we back to the same obvious scapegoat, which is the players again. 'Cause everybody think that you're gonna get a trade. It's what's Tuesday today, right? I think you're gonna get a trade that's gonna change things. I hope so, but I don't believe that a player could fix ineptitude at the highest positions. So your general manager is inept. I know he's inept because he gets rid of players. Jerry okay is getting rid of players based off of feelings, and I know that for a fact. How? Because there's no way you can tell me that Shamar James is better than Morris Leafau once again. Um, oh well. But he did that. We got rid of Izzy McQuamo before the season, who played well in preseason. He played good in preseason, then we cut him. He had Zion Childress, who's back on the team, thank God, but he played well in preseason. And then we went and got other guys to play instead of him. Booth played okay in preseason. And now we got this guy Bridges who looks like I don't know what he looked like, but he looked trash. You know what I'm saying? It's just very and then we'll have players who are good over the years who end up pro bowlers or all pros elsewhere because we do know how to draft them. We do know how to scout them. But when they're here, we evaluate them wrong or we become progress stoppers to these players, right? Izzy McQuamu is a 6'4", 212-pound safety corner tweener who can play nickel, who can be an X factor on your field because he could play over the top, sideline to sideline. He can cover the tight end, and he could play nickel corner as well, very well. He's done all those things here. I don't have to say it like I'm making it up, right? Yet he couldn't see any playing time his entire time here. Wanye Thomas, we got him now. Still is our best safety. He actually showed it yesterday. I think he played pretty good yesterday, but uh, is buried on the bench behind guys who aren't better than him, like Donovan Wilson, because of favoritism. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a lot of that going on, and you're the GM, right? And you got guys like, let me give you an example of a player who I think played a long time because Jerry likes him. LV. LV was a progress stopper at linebacker for a very long time. We wasn't even drafting linebackers. We wasn't trying to draft his replacement for the 6 years he was here as if we had one. Get what I'm saying? That's what I mean. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? That's a problem. The people argue about him waiting too long to sign players like George Pickens when we know we obviously want him, we should sign him early rather than waiting. I agree there. He does that, but you know, I guess that's his strategy, whatever, right? But the personnel decisions and the influence that you have that has on the coach's personnel decisions is what I have a problem with, right? That's just weird. I don't know if Eberflus is the reason certain players aren't playing or if it's Jerry. But I do know I don't hear Eberflus championing uh, any of the players that I think should be playing, like James Houston, for instance, gets the least amount of snaps out of that defensive end room, but is our most productive defensive end. And they keep saying it's because he doesn't stop the run. But every time I see him in a run situation, he stops the run. I was like, well, what are you basing his ability or inability to stop the run off of? You can't be basing it off of the game footage because he actually has tackles for losses versus the run in game footage. So you're basing it off of practice. But if you're basing it off of practice, again, we go back to the Jay Toya Mozzie conversation. Jay Toya practice is better than Mozzie, but it doesn't translate to the film. You know what I'm saying? So these things don't make any sense, especially when you say, okay, well, um, Mars Leofow, for instance, his film is crazy. Like whenever he's on the yesterday, even I say, yo, he was smacking shit yesterday on a kickoff. He hit a blocker so hard. I got it. I'm gonna show y'all that one. But he hit a blocker so hard, he almost tackled the kick returner with the blocker. I'm like, yo, and that's all you heard was like, I don't know if y'all saw that play, but man, it was like lightning. But he played 27 snaps, 20 of them, almost 20 of them with special teams. You know what I'm saying? Shamar James is not better than Morris Leofow. Yet, because Morris Leofow has the misfortune of being a Zimmer player, he's buried on the bench. So when you got shit like that going on, and then you got coaches who can't scheme their way out of a paper bag, like it looked so vanilla yesterday. It's like I gotta blame Jerry, and the reason I gotta blame Jerry is one reason. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not that there's no way all these coaches run the same shit, but they all look the same versus the run, meaning they can't stop the run on the edges. How does every coach not know how to teach this? Everybody, all y'all can't teach how edge control. Y'all don't know how to teach edge control. And that's Pop Warner shit. I see guys doing things that are retarded when it comes to setting the edge on a consistent basis or maintaining their gap integrity. Like guys like kneeling, spinning out of the gap on a regular basis. And if y'all wondering why it's not a bunch of film up right now, it's because my channel is in trouble because I keep showing film and they keep flagging me. So I'm not gonna keep doing it. But I'm gonna give y'all a taste today. But I ain't going in like I usually do because they trying to get rid of me, man. And if they do, I'm not fighting to come back. I'm gonna tell you right now. Y'all gonna see me on Twitter, maybe. You'll see me somewhere else, but I ain't doing this shit, man. They already demonetized me. And it's just making it very difficult for content creators to do what I like. I like to break down film. I don't like to sit up here and just talk. I like to do film. If I can't do film, I don't want to do this shit. So, but yeah, that's why you don't see the film right now. I am gonna put some up here though. But anyway, when you got that going on, you got guys like kneeling, spinning out of his gap or using spin moves versus the run. I'm like, what? This is not. That's not when you use that move, son. Nobody told you that. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of ineptitude going on every level. And then the fans, a lot of the fans don't know shit either. I'm arguing most of the season, not with Eagles fans, not with Giants fans, not with Washington fans, but with Cowboy fans and fake content creators that are lying. And I know they're lying because they'll disagree with me, but not give me the plays or the games in which they're basing this disagreement off of. I'll say, hey, buddy, hey, you guy. I'm not gonna say the names. Shamar James is not it. And like, I like him better than I like Murray. Okay. Based off of which games? Or based off of what? He's just a younger player. But what has he done that makes you say these things? Because I'm looking for it. And I know I'm watching every snap. And I know I don't hate the kid. Because if he started doing shit, I would just say, okay, well, he's doing his job. But we keep talking about how the run game looks. But the run game just so happened to change the moment Shamar James started. We were good versus the run. Do you guys remember that? When Sanborn was starting, we was good versus the run. We weren't great, but we was good versus the run until Sanborn got benched. That's why I keep bitching about Shamar James and Mars Leofow. It's not because I don't like Shamar James or Jay Toia. It's because when they're in, we get run on. So I'm like, yo, it's just common sense. But again, we keep seeing that. But let me show you some film because I can go on all day, man. But y'all know what's up. I just came back from Cali too. I was in Cali. I flew in yesterday morning, jet lagged as hell. I'm tired, and I'm like, I gotta stay up for this game because the Cowboys playing. And I'm like, man, I should have went to sleep. Y'all probably would have had better luck with me not watching this bullshit. Crazy. Yeah, man. Hold on. All right, here we go. Boom. Defense. Woo! I don't know what's happening on no play because I didn't break this down. So that's all live. Let's freeze right here. Okay. So who's that? That's Kenny Clark. Is that Kenny? No, that's Toia and, and Osa. Uh, they get trapped. Toia just hits the deck. So now we got Murray converging. You got Shamar James. Shamar James is reading. I don't know what he's reading. Boom. Okay. So Shamar James reads something that takes him out to the right. But what was it that he was reading? What's he reading? I don't know. He just going to a block. Why didn't he just go upfield? I don't get what he did here. Why? Why did you go to fight? It's like you playing match. Why am I matching with a block? Why am I trying to match with him? And who are y'all? There's no bootleg going out this way. So him and Bell both jumped out to the right, but for what? I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it's like I don't know what was going on here. What's this? Oh, what is that? What kind of defense is that? The ball hadn't been handed off. What are you doing? I don't know what they was doing. Well, hey, man. Party like the Red Sea, I can tell you that. Let's see it again. Boom. All right, you got Murray. What are you doing, Murray? At least you went up. That's what I wanted from Shamar James. Just take 2 steps up the field. This blocker can't block you. He had to block you in the back, and this running back will have nowhere to go right now. It's like this look like a weird ass draw play, but yeah, he wouldn't have nowhere to go. I don't know where he would get. Boom. He was following the right guard action. I hear you, Rick, but why am I matching with the right guard? The ball hadn't been handed off. Read your keys. Yes, key off the right guard, but still also process what's happening in the play as well. So if your keys take you here, right? So if you're watching, boom, he's watching the right guard pull, right? All right. But now you don't need to match set with the tackle that the left guard that just peeled off. He could have took a step up the field. The right guard didn't get to the outside, and the ball hadn't been handed off yet. And there is no boot action or bootleg action to that side that could possibly threaten you. So I don't understand why both of you needed to watch. I can understand if Bell is the contained guy, Bell is scraping right to get outside. I get that. Bell did that. Why does James need to do that? I don't know why is he being taught that. Bell is over there. I get that. Bell scraped because he was reading the right guard action and he's thinking we're going to get a pull or some sort of counter trade to the outside. Cool. What are you doing though, James? James should be he should have took 2 steps upfield, or he could have just literally stood still. Just make this blocker come to you right here until you know what's going on. Boom, watch this. See here? It's still right there. So now you know the ball isn't over here at this point, right? Right or wrong? You should. Should. You damn sure don't need to. He went 4 more steps in the wrong direction after the ball is, and I know this is all happening fast. We're not in the NFL, folks. This is very difficult shit. But right now you should be reading, right? The backfield and the blocks. You got here, you read, okay? You should be now changing direction to get back to the ball because you know the ball ain't outside. We took 4 more steps that way and got ourselves sealed. Um, yeah, and then let's see Murray. Murray, get off the fucking block. Murray's on a block here, on a block there, on a block there, on a block. Get off the goddamn block. Yeah, I mean, man. I like Kenneth Clark this game though. Kenny Clark was balling. Uh, look at Kenny. Look at Kenny. Look at Kenny playing like a fat bull. Look at this shit. And we still got Osa plays okay sometimes, but Osa be getting manhandled now, man. It's his size. It's his size. He got pushed all the way out that gap. If Kenny didn't fight through this gap, because this ain't even Kenny's gap. Kenny's in his gap. Kenny fought through and just chased this play down right here. But had he not done that, and that was from the work that we got from Clowney, I think, on the outside. Let's see what Clowney does. Clowney makes it so that it's a tight window. Oh, no, it ain't even Clowney. Clowney did set the edge, but no, it's just the way the play developed. Kenny Clark just did his thing. Because had he not done this, had Kenny Clark not fought through his block the way he did, this they going straight up the field. He'd have hit Shamar James right here, right up the field. He would have hit Shamar James around 8 yards up the field, 9 yards up the field. Boom. This was good by Clowney. So Clowney's going to create a bottleneck right there, kill zone. Boom. You meet that trap block, and then here's Houston, who can't stop the run. Right? Ain't that Houston right there? Houston look like he playing the run pretty good to me. Him and Clowney on that play look good. Look good. There go Clowney again. Clowney is a mercenary old man, and he balling out there on the edge. Look at that. Getting through blocks, fighting through traffic, getting to the ball. Go ahead, Clowney. He was trying to win. What they got Elam to try to tackle somebody? What is this? Let's see what we got. Where are pursuit? I like this. Ezeraku is playing a little bit of linebacker on this. I hate that. I don't hate that. He ain't doing shit, but I don't hate it. Look at Kenny Clark, man. Kenny Clark meant business. Look at him. Yeah. Him and Clowney, they was dominating the line of scrimmage, man. Those guys. There go Kenny again. He looked good right there. He just didn't get there this time. Boom. What's happening here? Let me see what's happening on the edge. So you got Fowler and you got Solomon Thomas. What happened to y'all? Fowler, come on, bruh. And Solomon Thomas is pinned inside already. So they pinned. Now you got James on the outside. Where's he? He got to get outside. He is outside. Boom. But now you got to get off this block and get underneath this block and help Kenny Clark, because Kenny Clark is in hot pursuit. All you got to do is fall down right there. Shamar, if you just get low and make him stop his feet, Clark cleans his clock. But he don't got to stop his feet because you still over there hand fighting. Eh, boom. Yeah, I like that by Wanye. Look at Wanye. Get under this block and still make the tackle. That's the type of plays I want to see. I want to see you attack, attack, attack. There we go. That was beautiful. Thank you, Wanye. Jesus Christ. Even when it looked good, it still go bad though. Look at this. So Fowler comes to meet the trap, which I don't hate that, but you still gotta set, you gotta keep your outside shoulder free if you Fowler here. Uh, You meet the trap. Okay. What happened? Murray, get off this block. Clark, get off this block. Murray, what are you doing, Murray? Murray got to make this play. Yeah, Murray did not disengage or make an effort to get off the block. And that's why they talk shit about you all day. And I gotta defend you because you're talented, but you're a dumbass. But you're better than 50, which is crazy when people try to say 50 is better than Murray. Because as bad as y'all say Murray is, which I say he does do dumb shit versus the run, he still plays in every game better than Shamar James. But they'll be like, Shamar James, good. I'm like, hold, how are y'all? If y'all say that Murray is trash, there's no way you saying Shamar James is good if he playing worse than Murray. But then you're like, well, he's young. No, no, no. Trash is trash. If Murray is trash, Shamar James is ass. Look at that. Boom. That would have been good by Wanye, but didn't finish. Let me see who fucks this up. So we got Jay Toia. We got so Jay's there. They just let him upfield his own blocking. Boom. All these guys upfield trapped. So it's a kill zone right there for Wanye. What happens though? Oh, Clowney. Clowney lets his edge go. Clowney shouldn't have moved. They would have had this play sewn up. Clowney should have stayed where he was at. See how important setting the edge is though for big runs? So those who say James Houston can't stop the run, watch James Houston. Boom. On the right. See that right there? Just that. He ain't gotta do much. Just that right there. Just staying outside makes it so that he has to cut this back inside. And now that's your help right there. Now you get help. And he still makes the tackle too, is this shit. But that's how you set the edge, man. We don't do that consistently, and that's why we keep giving up big ass runs. That's all you got to do. Just keep your outside shoulder free consistently. Even if we didn't try no B gap crashing, you know what I mean? None of that extra shit to try to get upfield and crash those plays off the back end or any of that. We ain't tried none of that. And just set the edge. You just told your defensive end, just set the edge every play, man. That's it. That's all I want y'all doing. I don't even care if y'all fire off the ball or not. We would play better just doing that, just being average doing that. Wanye coming down here getting through the trash. I like how Wanye gets through the trash, man. Nobody can tell me Wanye not the best safety on this team. Let's watch number 2 here. He'll get through the trash and smack you still. Look at this. Don't lose no speed. Boom. Good work. Good work. Although they'll take Wanye, and this is why I say Eberflus don't know what the fuck he doing. They'll take Wanye and they'll put Wanye over the top, which he can do, right? But then they'll say, okay, we'll have Marquise Bell playing coverage underneath on tight ends and McBride and getting smacked up, getting killed, pass interferences and all types of shit. I'm like, why don't you let Wanye do that? Wanye could do that part. That's what he does. That is what he does well. He's a shutdown cover safety that should be playing man. And if you have an obvious man situation, he shouldn't be in zone over the top on the regular. He should be in those situations against tight ends and big receivers. That's what he can do. Again, the power of setting a good edge. Look at this. This is just Sam Williams doing it. Watch Sam Williams. Just set the edge. Boom. Edge is set, right? Edge is set, right? Edge is set. So he can't get out there, right? Right. Now he has to stay inside, and now Kenny Clark got a chance to make this play. So when I be saying Osa, Kenny, Toia, Mozzie, and those guys don't make any plays inside, it's because you're not. If you're not setting the edge, these plays can't happen. Kenny Clark can't make that play if you don't set an edge there. There's nothing you can do. Let's see if the edge is set this time. Clowney loses edge, but he scrapes. This time, Murray exchanges. Let's see what Murray does here. So let's watch Shamar James and Murray. James engages. Clowney's inside. He's crashing the B gap. But you got Murray scraping over the top and replacing him right there. Boom. Good shit. But he'll do shit like that, and they'll be like, oh, well, I was lucky. They'll just get quiet when Murray does anything good because he can't do, he a trash linebacker. Boom. James doing something right there. Let's see. Now James does shit when don't nobody touch him, and he's like lined up, like he don't shed a block or go blow shit up. But if you don't touch him, and he know where he's going, like right here, look at him. Even right here, the hesitation be getting on my nerves a little bit, man. Get to the ball. Watch this. Now here you read it, you read it correctly, and I'm not being an asshole here. I'm just saying I don't know what's wrong with his feet because he does this all the time. Watch it. So he read it correctly. Go get it right. Why he stop right there? Why we stop and reset? Right here. Watch this. It's like he take extra steps to get everywhere he going, a bunch of them. I don't get why he does that. Change direction is a problem for this guy. That was good by Toya. Let me show you my guy. Now, hold on. This play right here got on my nerves, right? So pre-snap, pre-snap, right here. Watch this. I knew where the ball was going. Where the ball going? Pre-snap. Pre-snap, I know where the ball going. I know y'all know. Because the numbers is all tilted to the other hash, to the right, right? All right, so why the hell would anybody run over there? They're not gonna run over there. Y'all can't see that, but just common sense will tell you that you're in the wrong place if you're over to the right. You just need they just him and Murray and James both need to be centered. They're both off to the right, and it's very easy. And then they don't even play like they're trying to get back to the left. Look, they engage to the right too. Watch here even more. Look at their first steps. Oh, Murray went back over that way. Murray did see it, but still got blocked. I mean, you ain't gonna get past it. But this is scheme right here. This is not players. This is scheme. Because that why would you have them lined up this way, or why do they think that they're lined up correctly? I don't get it. And this is that 3-4 look that I actually like. But why are you lined up this way? You made it almost impossible to stop this play. And then you got Nealon, who's supposed to be setting the edge, didn't set shit. He's inside. Why? I don't know what Nealon. Nealon is blocking for himself. He creating a bottleneck. And then boom, made it real easy. Murray blocked. And boom, James blocked. And but he don't get touched until he's 20 yards up the field. That was just some crazy shit right there, man. Craziness, man. Who's this? This Murray this time. What's happening? They chopped that Murray. Oh damn, I missed that. Yeah, they chopped that Murray legs, and they just erased the football. Oh, Carson got on the field probably because it's bum time. Mars Leofile doing his 1-2. Watch Mars Leofile on this play right here though. Watch this. So Leofile in the middle of the field, watching. I said, "Yo, watch this." Yo, this boy, he hit you so fucking hard, man. Look at this boy. I love this dude. Ugh. He hit Buddy so hard, Buddy hit his own man like 5 yards back. Running full, they both running full speed ahead forward though. How you hit a grown man going full speed ahead towards you? Roy Williams used to do this, but grown man going full speed ahead towards you, and you knocking 5 steps back. It's crazy. And he almost tackled his own guy. Crazy. And still, these are the only plays he get to play. Like Morris Leafile only play on the bench. he only play on special teams. That's crazy shit, man. But here we go. Let me get this off of here before they get me off of here. Wow, shit, man. So when I'm watching the film and I'm looking at like even when watching that, like I'm watching the defense wasn't as horrible defensively this game. Off the defense was average, which is what we need him to be. The offense just didn't do shit. And I don't have all the film all cut up for that. I will cut it up later for y'all. But it just striking to me that every time we got on their side of the field, suddenly we did something to shoot ourselves in the foot over and over again. It's as if we wasn't trying to win this game. I don't care what nobody say. It was like the fumbles, the turnovers on down, those 4 plays. You get 1 touchdown and 3 field goals out of that, you win the game. You get 4 field goals out of that, you win the game. You know what I'm saying? You get you get all touchdowns, you dominate the game. You get 2 touchdowns, you win the game. No matter what you do, if you just get points on those times we're within their 30. This is what I'm saying. We were within the 30-yard line on the red zone each time. You get points on every one of those drives, you win this game easily. Why are we pressing like we're down against Peyton Manning? They didn't even do shit the second half. Everybody talking about the defense. The defense actually played good enough in the second half to win the game. I got a gnat fly in front of me somewhere. But the defense played good enough to win the game in the second half. They didn't do shit in the second half. They had 27 forever. They didn't do shit in the second half. The defense held up in the second half. Enough, anyway. They didn't hold up enough to give us the ball back or to, change the momentum, but they held up enough where if you just did something offensively, you're back in this game, and we just didn't do it. So, yeah, that's where we at, man. That's where we at. But it is what it is, man. Let me see what y'all saying in here. John S., shut the fuck up. We watching the defense and you in here gawking Dak for whatever reason. Oh, well, Dak definitely, he shares his blame in this game, but it wasn't all on Dak. Dak wasn't out just throwing picks and shit like that. We had 5 turnovers and lost by 10 points. 2 turnovers on down, 1 interception at the end of the game, a bunch of sacks, a couple sacks. I don't know. I ain't gonna say a bunch, but they was getting to Dak. And then 2 fumbles. So that wasn't Dak. That was the team, the offense, but it wasn't Dak. I blame Shoddy more so for the offense this time because of the way he was just making the certain decisions he made that didn't make no sense. Ultra Cowboys, Shamar James is not an NFL linebacker. You need to draft Sonny Style, CJ Allen, Anthony Hill Jr. with their second first round pick. Whatever, man. I don't know. I just know I ain't gonna say he ain't an NFL linebacker. I just look at him like he is. What the hell? I heard noise outside. I was like, maybe somebody trying to touch my house. But he is what we're doing with Morris Lee's file is what Shamar James should be doing. Running down on special teams and hitting shit. That's what he should be doing. And Morris Lee file should be playing. But again, it won't matter who you draft if you bring guys in here and you don't use them or don't develop them. How we keep blaming the coaches or blaming the players, I mean, solely the players, not the coaches, but how we keep blaming the players for not being great when you bring them into a unstable household. You bring them into an unstable environment. They either changing defensive coordinators every year, like Mozzie, uh, or you got defensive coordinators who don't even like the guys like Morris. If you're a good player, you can't get on the field even though you ball out for your coach like Izzy. Izzy had gotten in trouble when he was here, and it wasn't anything play wise. It was something he did on the sideline, and I remember that year. And that they didn't let him play that entire season all the way up until the Tampa Bay game, and he played well in that game. Then I said, "Oh, next year they're gonna use a lot of Izzy." After watching that, Dan Quinn still didn't use his ass. Get what I'm saying? So it's really that's what I've seen more often than not here than anything else. You get players here who may not have been great elsewhere, like a Kenneth Murray, who actually been playing okay for you this year. Not great, but good. And because of his history, they just ignore whatever he does that's good. So to the point where people like me got to defend him because our own fan base is going to cannibalize him before he even gets an opportunity to show you that he's not in the same scheme that he was in when he was playing like ass. Right. So uh, you can't really do much with that. Like Jerry Jones got to step back and let his coaches coach, and you got to go get us a coach that knows how to take these guys and raise their game. Nobody's gotten better this season. Not one player. Nobody. Kenneth Clark is good, but he was good coming in. Osa has regressed. Kenneth Murray was ass everywhere. He looks better here. I will give him that. I'll give Aberfluss that. Uh, Morris Leofile taking a step back because he's not getting on the field. Bland don't look nothing like Bland. Bland looked like if Bland played this way when he was a rookie, he would have never became Bland because we wouldn't have been like, well, who is this guy, right? He's have been a guy like we looking at like Bridges, like he get burned, he getting cooked a little bit, he make a play here and there, but he get cooked. He could tackle. He like Bland is playing like Reddy Stewart this season. I think Reddy Stewart's playing just as good, for real, except for the pick six. Bland hasn't done shit but get scored on. He keep getting scored on. Crazy. Yeah. Diggs got the most sense out of the whole room because he said, "Fuck you. I don't want to play for this guy. I'm hurt. I got hurt at home, and I ain't coming back because y'all gotta pay me anyway. Fuck you." So that's what Diggs is doing with the organization. But I can understand why because Eberfluss is a stubborn, dumbass coach. Man, he ain't that bright. I didn't know him before he got here. I was judging him based off of his scheme and his history, but judging from him being here, the things he says and the way he makes decisions with his personnel. Again, it could be some Jerry, but can't do it. Can't do it. Let's see what else y'all saying. He said, "Why is Turpin wide receiver 3 can't catch, block, break tackles, nor make contested catches? Yet Flournoy, who can take over a game enough to grab attention, barely sees the field." Very true. Again, that's another one of those points I was making. Personnel decisions don't quite make sense. Yeah, I like what I saw out of Flournoy yesterday. Flournoy looked explosive, he looked strong, aggressive, and didn't get that many targets. But I think he's a guy. If you got CD and you have George Pickens on the outside and you're throwing the ball short and shallow or across the middle in the trenches, to Flournoy, he's a guy that you want because he can break tackles and he ain't good enough to obviously I'm going to just dominate everybody on the outside every game. No, but if you put him against a third corner or second corner on a regular basis or mismatch him against linebackers, things like that, he's gonna kill. Yeah, so I agree with you. Yeah. Now the Buckeyes are out of Dallas path. Anyways, they all be top 5 draft picks. Yeah, I don't, I don't get into draft talk. Flournoy has showed up when given opportunities. Facts. Said Okoye, you're absolutely right that it's scheme. Your eyes see an extra lineman on the left, but you move strong to the right because that's what your keys say. There's a flaw of something being taught. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because some of this stuff be common sense, right? Like I know the reason I was screaming for Mozzie is not because I thought Mozzie was playing great. I never thought he was playing great this season, right? But what I did notice though, and I do notice when he's on the field, they either throw a screen pass, they throw the ball, period. They're just gonna throw the ball because they know he's not a pass rusher, or they'll run to the outside. I know what a offense is gonna do when he's on the field. They're not running at him. And I'm not saying it's because he's dominating. They just don't do it. They don't run at him. All right. So if he's not getting run at and you on the field with him, right? Obviously, I'm not going to overreact to something in the middle. I'm going to overreact to things to the outside because I just common sense on film. This is how they attacking us. All right, so I know when he come on the field, I'm gonna watch everything to the edges. If I'm a linebacker, that's what I'm thinking. Fuck what the play call is. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? I remember when we had Dontari Poe and he was fat, and they was like, "Oh, Dontari Poe is trash." We wasn't setting the edge. D Law and all those guys wasn't setting the edge at all. But I'm like, yo, when Dontari Poe on the field, yeah, he fat, and no, he don't run around make a lot of plays, but he was just like Jonathan Hankins. Like if he just clog up the middle of the field, you know where they're running. If he's to the right, they running to the left. I mean, or if he's to the right, they're running to the left, or they're throwing the ball, or they're gonna try to do something outside. They're not running at him though. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you saw a move where you see a player overreact to something in the middle, or their keys take them to the middle of the field, but Dontari Poe's in the middle of the field, or Clark or Mozzie or any of those guys. It's like, why are you even reacting to that when you know they're not running up there with these guys on the field, right? So those types of things, some of these things are just common sense. You know what I mean? And we don't have much of it on this team. They don't have common sense. Like when you see those wide receivers coming to try to crack block a defensive end. Okay, I see him over there. If if he's the widest of the wide, this wide receiver is wider than me, right? And my job is to keep this guy inside. Let me see if I got let me see. Let me put this on. Let me see if I got a play that I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, right here. Perfect. See where Clowney is right here and his wide receiver outside? If I know that my job is to stay outside this guy, right? Okay. And I know that he could be running a route or he could be trying to pin me. I don't know which one he's doing. But I do know if I get pinned, they can pin and pull outside of me, right? But if I just widen out and stand straight up with this guy, right? Right over him, even, then he can't pin me. And if they are actually passing, then I'm going to disrupt them anyway and help the guy behind me. So he's not going to catch the ball either because I'm about to push him off his route right now. Why wouldn't that not be what I teach if I'm the coach? Even though, yeah, I might have a pass rush assignment here that now I'm not going to get to the quarterback. Okay. But this quarterback is now going to have to hold the ball a little bit longer, just like it's going to take me a little longer to get to the quarterback. He's gonna have to hold the ball a little longer if I'm standing right over this wide receiver right here where Clowney is, right? But instead of that, we teach our guys to stand inside, right? So look, as soon as he stands up, he doesn't pin him this time, right? But when they start, but if he did pin him, he's pinned already. You know what I mean? Why are we not teaching that? I don't get why we don't teach it. And I see other teams do it. Like the Patriots used to do it all the time because they played 3-4, outside linebackers. But they will stand right up over your tight end or right over the wide receiver. You're not getting wider than them. I'm trying to see if we got any plays where they got those bunch sets right here. Like look at saying what no, that's kneeling. And kneeling in 17. If I'm kneeling, if I'm coaching this team, kneeling, you're standing up and you're gonna reroute 17. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna push him in the backfield, or you're just gonna reroute him. It depends on what he's doing, right? That's what I'm teaching. Not you jumping. Why would I jump where I know you want me? You know what I'm saying? You want me if you put a wide receiver outside me here, and I'm a defensive end. I know you want me to crash inside. So now, even if that's the play that I was told to run, I'm not doing it. Why? Because this is what you want. Like this is the perfect setup for that. And then you got Reddy Stewart blitzing right behind that. Look. Now Reddy Stewart now has to deal with a tackle or a tackle in space. And Nealon is dealing with a receiver. Look at this. You allow Nealon to be blocked by a receiver, not because he's been blocked physically by a receiver, but because he's asked to crash the B gap on this play. And I see us run this type of stunt. It's like a run stunt. I see us run this all the time, right? But no, the problem is nobody's running in the B gap when we're doing it, right? And even still, we're sealing the tackle. Now you've sealed Kenny Clark inside right here if you're kneeling because of that right there. Boom. Now you're blocking Clark, so Clark can't get out there to help you. Right now, look at that. So Clark hasn't moved, and neither has Nealon. Nealon hasn't destroyed this wide receiver yet. See what I'm saying? That is just common sense shit. So it should be now. Mind you, if he just stands up and he pushes this wide receiver in the backfield, which is what you would be doing if it's a run play. If it's not a run play, that wide receiver is going to release and get around you, but now he lost steps and lost time. And now that corner that's behind you, even if they're in zone, you bought them time to get to him, and he can't get right up the seam, which is common sense. We don't teach that. That would be the only adjustment if I'm running a defense like this. It's like, look, these are where you're getting in trouble. You keep getting sealed on the outside, right? Whenever you see that, we're going to be the widest of the wide. I mean, unless it's a trips right where we got 3 receivers over there, that's the only way. You're not going to go outside like a corner. But if they're in the slot, if that receiver's in the slot or they're in tight, you don't line up inside that receiver. You line up head up or outside of them, period. There is no negotiating there. Tight end either. Let no one outside your shoulder, right? That way we guarantee that I don't have to have a corner or a safety or a linebacker scrape or replace to try to seal the edge. You're doing it. My defensive ends or outside linebackers are doing that every play, even if it's boring, even if you don't do shit else. You're doing that first. Crazy work. That's automatic. Now, if I see that at my offensive coordinator and I see that that's how you want to play that look, I'm gonna run that look all the time. You giving me a freebie. You going to let me get a wide receiver blocking a defensive end successfully. And then you're going to give me a mismatch of a tackle on that nickel who has to replace that defensive end. I will take that all day. And I wouldn't blame Reddy or anyone else if you don't fucking stop this play. You know what I'm saying? Now look where Ezraku is. This is what I mean. That's what I want right there. I see Ezraku. He sees that tight end. Instead of being inside right over the tackle, he's head up with the tight end. And then Clowney's outside the other tight end. You know what I'm saying? This is what I would want from all of them. Now here, when you see that motion, or if he came in motion and was on the edge, I would have told Clowney to take a step outside even more. Now look, he does though. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Clowney is outside, the widest of the wide. And I wonder what happens in this play. Fucking nothing. Because they're doing what they're supposed to do on that one. You know what I'm saying? Here, it happens over and over again. Watch a Fowler on this play. I guarantee every time we do it wrong, we blame defensive tackles for this, right? We be like, our defensive tackles ain't shit. They can't be shit if you're doing this because you are not keeping the ball honest. They can't be shit if you do this. So again, not Clowney, Fowler. You are being blocked by a fucking tight end. Not really though. It's because your first step is inside here, right? Why? Let them play head up. Meaning, attack that tight end's outside shoulder. If he attacks his tight end's outside shoulder, nothing happens on this play. You got this is Eberflus' fault. You got Clowney and Solomon Thomas. Their first step on this play, because this is just a zone block, the pin and pull, right? Their first step on this play is inside to the right. Both of them. They didn't get blocked inside. They both ran inside. So that means James's job is to scrape off the hip. He needs to be tighter to the hip of this tight end that's blocking Clowney, and he need to get down there now and meet that guard, right? That's what he should do, not flow over the top. All right, he widened out to meet the guard, but he should have just met him right there early, made a mess, because then Kenny Clark can make this play. But he can't make this play if you just go and match your man. But I don't blame Shamar James solely for that. I blame the scheme and Shamar James. Go. God damn. That's common sense. They do this every play, every game to us. And our defensive ends fall for it every time. How? You know that's what they're doing. How? Y'all keep falling for that. This is dumb shit. Here we go. Let's see. Clowney's outside. Ezeraku. Now it's Ezeraku this time, right? Watch Ezeraku on the opposite side, right? And this is what I mean. I don't like none. Now look, widest of the wide. Get wide. Get wide, stay wide. Keep everything inside. Now look at Ezeraku. Boom. Now, James, you have to scrape. Can he scrape? He scrapes okay. That was good. That was okay. Boom. Lucky though that Wanye did what he did. But we don't even need to do all that at all. Nobody need to do none of that. If Ezeraku is just firing to the outside, attacking the out. What are you thinking though? You're just gonna get upfield and make the play, but what happens if you don't? Why wouldn't you just attack the outside shoulder of this tight end? Just look at what happens if he does. Boom. If he's on the outside of this tight end, Shamar James is still free, but this play is going inside. You know what I'm saying? It's going inside. And now you got Shamar James, Bell, and Murray free. They still free, still free, still free. They're free right now. Until this point, they were free. But this Wanye doesn't have to make that play if you just get boring with your defensive ends. Just let them do what they're supposed to do, which is stay the widest of the goddamn wide. Boom. There you go again. See, this time I understood. This time, though. Look. If you're Fowler, oh shit. I don't know what play I was on. I don't know where I was at. I think this is it. Yeah, if you Fowler on this play right there, boom. You got to attack upfield, outside shoulder still need to stay free. You cannot get pulled inside on them. Cannot. That's the only reason we give up these plays is our lack of discipline on the edge. But the problem I have is like it got to be Jerry, because this has been happening throughout every coordinator that comes here. It's like a curse. They don't know how. None of them teach edge control. Now look at Clowney. This is just Clowney's experience doing this. Because look where he's standing. This is why Clowney had a good game, because he got fucking common sense. Look where he's standing. Outside that. Look. Outside that tight end. Oh, ain't that something? How that works out. Well, it worked out that time. It worked out good enough, though. But look, let me see what happened. I'm all bragging on it. Let me see what happened in here. All right, so we got Osa and Clowney. So Osa gets pushed inside this time. But that's that same play that Solomon Thomas and Fowler got pinned inside last time on, except for this time Clowney's outside that pin instead of inside. Osa's inside like Solomon Thomas was. Clowney's going to meet the trap too wide. That's the problem. He went around it. If he'd have just stood right where he was right before this step where I just had it frozen at, like right once you get outside of it, right there, go beeline. Now beeline inside and meet that pool or meet that trap. And he would have made a mess right there. But Osa is all the way out of his gap. So Osa wouldn't have been any help, even if he does make a mess. There's nobody pursuing because your linebackers are both matching up with their blocker. And you got trailing on the backside, you got Houston. And Houston is going to smack, buddy. But yeah, y'all guys get my point. Let me see. All right, Clowney's doing it again. Clowney, a smart man. Houston is being out leveraged. Clowney's playing against a tackle, so there's nobody outside of him anyway. But Houston has 14 outside of him. No. See, he looking at him though. You see him. You see him. Let's see what he do. And then they got an extra lineman on the field too. They came out ready to run. They just said we know we running on y'all. Boom. So this the setup is good. So Clowney and Houston create the kill zone, and then you got Wanye went in there for the kill, but Clowney gave up the edge. And Clowney moved. And once Clowney moved, boom. Look at how easy this is if you just stay, even if your defensive ends suck. They all can suck. You just told them, yo, you just stay over here, man. Just stay out there no matter what. Stay there. Clowney, stay out there, and we win every time. Stay out there, Clowney. Stay out there. Nope. Nope. You don't even got to make a play. Just stay outside, and we win. You know what I'm saying? Clowney. Look at Clowney. Look at Houston. Look at Clowney. Look at Houston. When you play this way, everybody else can eat. Look at Clowney. Look at Houston. Look, Clowney. Look. That's all I need you to do. Look at Houston. Look at Houston. Look at Houston. So all I need you to do is that every play, and everybody else will look great. I don't need my defensive ends to be trying to get 20 sacks a season unless you earn it by stopping the run like you're doing here. Then on third downs, eat. Third downs, fire off the ball. I don't give a fuck. Obvious pass, 2nd and 19, fire off the ball. I don't give a damn. But 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, you should not be getting pinned inside because you should be widest of the wide. Fuck the pass rush. Now look at Ezeraku here. See what I'm saying? So you got this extra lineman that's off the ball right in front of him, right? But you also got this wide receiver. What are they gonna do? You already know. You already know. So that crack block, you either got to push through that, which he should be pushing through right now. But he not. Look, you hand fighting with a receiver, man. Oh, he got past him though, but it took him too long. It took you too long. As a Raku, kill this motherfucker. But it's real easy if you just line up in front of this guy, you blow this whole play up. Why? Because you push him, you just treat him like a sled machine, and you push him into the backfield. They don't do it. Did they get me again? They better not have got me. You know they about it's about to happen if it hasn't happened. See, this time Clowney caught it. He saw it, but he was too late. He already took a step. But look at this. So that tight end is outside of that's McBride, I think, whatever that is. But that tight end is outside of Clowney right now. Watch this. Clowney sees it, so he doesn't shoot up the field, but he still gets his head inside here. But Murray's scraping over the top right there to replace him. Boom. And still makes the play. But just the way he played, it still bought some time. Ezeraku's the opposite. See, Ezeraku allows himself to get washed all the way inside because he's not minding that tight end. Watch this. Watch Ez. Boom. So now you're dealing with a tackle, and now that tight end is going chip, boom. He chipped you all the way in there. Now look at the integrity of the defense now. You got guys like Wanye and Murray and those guys hustling to get there, and they still made the play, but you know what I mean? It's much easier if your defensive ends play the way I just said. Let's see what they do here. That was good by Ez. This one just made me sick. Right here, if you're kneeling, you gotta know nothing can get outside of me over here because I know that's where they're going with the ball. Nothing can get outside of me here. You damn sure don't go in there if you're kneeling. See that? Why are you in there? You know damn well you don't belong in there because your whole defense is over there. So you know you need to be outside of 70. If he's outside of 70, guess what? Kenneth Murray can just fire off and blow this play up, but so can Osa. Instead, we get this. These are the only ways we giving up yards. Y'all don't see the trend? It ain't happening. Do y'all see any runs in the middle of the field that's crazy? No, it never is. It's always here. This is where we get screwed over. But I like what Bell does here because Bell said, "Look, I'm just going to hit Marvin Harrison. So fuck the play action. I ain't got to worry about it. I'm gonna just push you in the backfield. Boom. You bring your wide receivers this close to the line of scrimmage. We gonna manipulate them with the defensive ends. They're not gonna want to do it because we're gonna hit you. We're gonna slam you. Try to block my defensive ends with a wide receiver if you want to. I'm not even gonna try to. We're not trying to win the game. We're trying to hurt them. I'm for real. Till you get them the fuck away from me. Get them from over here. Get them from over here before we hurt them. That's the way I would run my defense. If you put a wide receiver on any of my defensive ends, their job is to break that receiver. Break it, make it so that your corners have an easier job next time they got to cover one of these guys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Maybe I'm demented, but that's what I think. That's what I think. Let me see what he said. After this Mozzie situation, we might not ever draft a defensive tackle in the first round again. I mean, if you want to say somebody a bust, right? The only way I call a person a bust right off the rip is if he would have came in and y'all took him and y'all did what y'all tried to do what he did in college and it didn't work out, like Zimmer did with him and it did work out. If y'all did that with him, keep his weight the way it is, and say, look, we just need you to soak up blocks, bro. And he still sucked. I would have said, yeah, don't do that no more. They got a first round grade on him because he was a first round pick. They said we want you to get sacks too. We want you to be a pass rusher too, instead of just letting him be what he is. So if you're gonna call a guy a bust and you didn't let him do what he does, and then gave him 3 different defensive coordinators, none of them who actually liked the guy. Quinn didn't even like him. Quinn didn't like him. Obviously, Zimmer did what he had to do. He inherited him, but he did what he had to do with him and made him good. And then you get Eberflus, who is just a weird bull when it comes to guys he don't like. He's an asshole. I would never want to play for Eberflus because it's not they're liars. I don't like a lying ass coach. Because if you're telling me it's a meritocracy, but you love Donovan Wilson, you tell me it's a meritocracy, but you love Shamar James, you, my friend, are a lying ass. Yeah. Because there's no way you could tell me that Shamar James is the best linebacker. They keep saying he's the best linebacker in the room. No, the fuck he not. He's not. There's nothing on film that says this. I don't care what you seeing in practice. He is not. He's not better than Sanborn. We start sucking versus the run the moment Sanborn left. And the crazy thing is Sanborn is a healthy scratch every week. He don't get no snaps because of Shamar James. I would never want to work for a coach like that. Never. Because you don't got the eyes to see, like, let the best players play. And if you don't have an understanding as to what those players are or who those players are, I don't want to play for you. I don't want to play for you. That's crazy. They be lying. Straight up. Like, yeah, they'll say, yeah, Miles is gonna play great football for us. Y'all don't got a plan for this bull. Y'all don't even know what to do with him. And who plays well when they know the whole team don't believe in them? Don't know. You gotta coach players based off of who they are individually. I guarantee you. Now, I'm not trying to undermine nobody, but I guarantee you, if I coached this team, I could get way better play out of Mozzie because I wouldn't try to get him to understand shit. I just say, I just want you to, that's baby steps. First thing I need you to do is just be chaotic, meaning just destroy the guy in front of you. I don't care what you do. Just make a mess in front of you. Don't try to think you ain't a cerebral player. You ain't smart like that. You just physically strong as fuck. Just make a mess. Can you do that? Cool. Make a mess, and you're gonna find the ball 5, 6 times a game doing that. And then I'll worry about everybody else. You make a mess. You know what I'm saying? A guy like Kenneth Murray, we gonna keep you clean. Keep him clean. That's why I'm telling Mozzie to make the mess. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do those types of things consistently when it comes to the way we evaluate our players. I don't think Eberflus even knows what these players can do. Here's what bothers me though. You mentioned some busts, never the good ones drafted though. Oh yeah, people mention the bust, but they don't mention the fact that you'll go get a Bland in the fifth round and make him who he is, right? So this team does draft well. Um, Never in the first round though. Our first round picks, I don't really like most of them. Dak ain't a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? CD Lamb ain't a first round pick. Oh yes, he is, isn't he? He might be a first round pick. CD Lamb, I think, is a first round pick. It was Diggs that wasn't a first round pick. Close enough though, but wasn't a first round pick. Uh, you got a bunch of guys that we got that became players for us that were not first round picks. So I'm cool with that. I don't think first rounds mean all that much if you're a team that can find value late in the draft. You know what I mean? Oh, he said no, no. I'm talking about QBs. Yeah, everybody talk about those too. They be like, yeah, let's go draft Alabama or whoever first round. First round quarterbacks don't mean shit to me either. They don't. It's just you find a quarterback in any round. Tom Brady wasn't a first round quarterback. Dak ain't a first round quarterback. You know what I mean? Elway wasn't. It's like first round quarterbacks don't just pop up and play well just because they were drafted in the first round. You know what I mean? But I got so what I do for those who don't know me, I house homeless veterans here. Well, not here. I'm in Jersey, but in Philadelphia where I'm from, I house homeless veterans, and I got a facility that we just grabbed, and we're in the process of rehabbing that to get it ready. So I gotta go, right? But I wanted to jump on because this game didn't even make me mad. It made me like calm. I got calm after the game. Like, oh well, you know what I mean, nothing to look forward to for me. So now every game is just something fun to watch, just to evaluate the players. I'm not watching because I have a belief in this coaching staff or this front office. I think Schottenheimer and what he's doing with the offense is dope. I mean, I fuck with him, but until we fire Eberflus or Jerry sits his ass down, I don't think we're gonna do very much. So if we fire Eberflus, you might see me come back with a vengeance because I think that an interim defensive coordinator could do way better with this team. Like I just some of the shit that I'm just looking at, what I was just showing you as far as like the way we attack the edges. Anybody can teach that. It's just a minor adjustment. Hey y'all, yeah, when you see those wide receivers come to crack you, you got two choices. You used to have two choices. One was to try to get upfield and get by them. The other one is to get outside of them, right? You don't no longer are we trying to get upfield to get by them. Nobody. I don't want to see anybody doing that. Okay? None. I want everybody outside, no matter what. Automatically, you just got better immediately. Crazy. But bang with y'all for jumping on. Like I said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure you guys go out to follow Okoye Knows Boxing. I'm also working on a boxing app for the fights that I throw here in Philadelphia. So once that app comes out, what I will have you guys do, because you guys ask me all the time, how can you support the channel? That will be how you can support me. When that app is finished, you guys go out and you subscribe to the app. And what that allows you to do is watch every fight that I throw on the app, right? So you do that, we good to go. But for now, make sure you guys, like I said, like, subscribe, share, do your thing, and we good to go. I'm out. And there she go right there. So Red's coach, she over there telling me to hurry the fuck up because she need me to get dressed so I can get up out of here. So like I told you, I gotta go. I gotta be out of here by 12:30. So peace.